Welcome back to my channel. A new day begins, and today, can you guess what's going to happen next in Tieu Ca's house building journey? There are some surprising moments ahead that will surely make you curious and excited. Let's dive in and find out together. Tieu Ca's house was gradually taking shape, brick by brick and timber by timber, under Hmong's skillful hands and devoted care. More than just a companion, Hmong had become a steadfast support for her in every stage of the construction. Each day they ventured deep into the forest together, chopping fresh logs to bring back and build their little home. But what warmed Tieu Ca's heart the most wasn't just the piles of wood. They were Hmong's quiet attentions. The gentle way he stripped bark from each plank, meticulously tending to every small detail she hadn't noticed. Then there were the meals he cooked and brought to her, as if to soothe the exhaustion and worries weighing on her shoulders. As time passed, the house took clearer form, but the joy was far from complete when a dark shadow suddenly appeared in Tieu Ca's peaceful life. He, the ex-husband, once bound to her by blood and flesh, now stepped into her world like a chilling wind, bringing with him an unrelenting storm. His unexpected presence sent her heart racing wildly, flooding her with confusion, anxiety, and a deep sense of fear in every glance and every gesture. He said nothing, standing there with cold eyes that seemed to pierce straight into her soul. Tieu Ca felt the suffocating heaviness of the atmosphere surrounding them. A dark premonition surged within her, as if a sinister plot was quietly unfolding behind that faint smile and those icy eyes. Could he be harboring dark intentions, perhaps joining forces with his mother to take away Tieu Han, their shared child? The thought made her tremble, but it also ignited a fierce determination within her, a resolve not to be easily defeated. Everything became more intense than ever before. Day by day, hour by hour, Tieu Ca keenly sensed the lurking shadows of her past, the schemes gradually coming to light like a formidable challenge she had to overcome. Beside her was always Hmong, her friend, companion, and the one who loved her with all his heart. But would that love be strong enough to help her overcome the darkness closing in? Or was it a harsher battle ahead, one where she would have to stand not only for happiness, but also for the safety of herself and her precious child? The sky seemed to collapse inside Tieu Ca's heart. Moments of peace suddenly shattered, giving way to days filled with storms and trials. She knew now that this was no longer just about building a house. It was a struggle to protect her home, to hold on to love, and above all, to guard herself against the dark conspiracies rising from the past. The ex-husband slowly stepped toward Tieu Ca, each step heavy with unspoken thoughts. She felt a vague anxiety rising within her, mixed with confusion and vigilance. Her eyes sharpened, trying to maintain calm in the face of this unexpected encounter. He stopped just a few steps away, his voice warm but tinged with curiosity and concern. "Why did you move here? How's the house construction going?" he asked gently, yet with a hint of scrutiny. Tieu Ca took a deep breath, steadying her breathing, and responded firmly, not allowing any trace of weakness to show. "I moved here to make it easier for my child to go to school. And you? What are you doing here? This is none of your business. You should leave." Her short reply acted like a solid wall between them, each word sharp and unyielding. He didn't respond immediately. A flicker of disappointment flashed in his eyes, but was quickly replaced by determination. "I just want to help you," he said, his voice low and heavy, as if trying to persuade but also hiding something deep inside. At that moment, it seemed he wanted to say more, to explain or convince her further, but when he looked directly into Tieu Ca's cold, piercing eyes, he froze. Her gaze was like a sharp blade, piercing straight into his heart, making all his words choke back in his throat. Silence stretched for a few seconds as if the whole world was holding its breath. Tieu Ca didn't say another word, maintaining her guarded stance, making him clearly feel that the boundary between them had become nearly impossible to cross. The tension in the air made Tieu Ca's heart race faster, and a flood of restless thoughts rushed through her mind. Was he really here just to help? Or was there some hidden scheme, some plan she hadn't yet seen? Just as the ex-husband was about to speak again, decisive footsteps suddenly echoed from behind. CEO Hmong appeared, standing firmly in front of Tieu Ca, his eyes cold and resolute. His gaze allowed no room for interference. "Listen to me." Hmong's voice rang out clearly and firmly, carrying an undeniable authority. "I've already told you, you are not allowed to bother her and her child anymore. If you continue, I won't hesitate to call the police." The ex-husband hesitated, confusion and embarrassment written plainly across his face, as if he hadn't expected Hmong to appear so promptly and firmly. He stepped back, his eyes darting nervously to Tieu Ca, then abruptly turned and walked away without a word. Tieu Ca let out a relieved breath, feeling as if a heavy burden had been lifted from her heart. She turned to Hmong, her eyes filled with gratitude and reassurance. "Thank you for coming at the right moment," she said, her voice still tinged with emotion. Hmong gave a gentle smile, looking straight at her with sincerity. "Don't worry, he won't be able to bother you and Tieu Han anymore. You're not alone." Tieu Ca smiled softly, a spark of hope and renewed strength shining in her eyes. But as the ex-husband's figure gradually disappeared into the distance, no one could tell whether he had truly changed, abandoned his old schemes, or was merely hiding a more complex plot, waiting for the right moment to return with a more dangerous plan. After that tense confrontation, Hmong and Tieu Ca continued tirelessly with the work of finishing the incomplete house. However, from that moment on, a deep fear began to grow within her. Every movement, every step around the construction site was carefully observed, not allowing herself even a moment of carelessness in the face of the ex-husband's unexpected return. The next morning, before returning to the unfinished work, Tieu Ca took the opportunity to bring the vegetables she had gathered to the market to sell, along with some small items to earn extra income. Her stall was set up right by the roadside, bathed in the gentle sunlight of the early morning. Everything went quite smoothly. Fresh vegetables attracted many customers, and the market buzzed with lively chatter and laughter. However, as she settled in a small corner to sell her vegetables, her gaze suddenly froze when she noticed her ex-husband sitting at the tea stall across the street. This time, he didn't dare approach or speak with the usual challenge. Instead, he quietly nestled into a corner, his eyes carefully and meaningfully fixed on her. His presence was like a cold breeze slipping into the warm atmosphere of the bustling market, making Tieu Ca's heart tighten painfully. She felt every look he cast her way, filled with unspoken thoughts, causing the blood in her veins to seem to freeze. Yet Tieu Ca remained calm, her eyes unwavering as they met his directly, silently daring him to reveal all the secrets he kept hidden in his heart. The air between them thickened instantly. The surrounding sounds faded into the background, leaving only the pounding beats of their hearts. The heavy silence between them made the tangled thoughts and unspoken emotions suffocating, creating a tension so intense it was almost unbearable. This chance encounter served as an undeniable reminder that no matter how hard she tried to build a new life, her past was always lurking, ready to resurface at the most unexpected moments. And Tieu Ca knew clearly this was only the beginning of the challenges ahead, with even greater storms silently waiting for her in the future. Amidst the suffocating silence and set of meaningful gazes, Tieu Ca reminded herself that she must be stronger than ever before. No matter how the past returned with its schemes and conspiracies, she would not let it control her life and happiness. Yet deep down, she could not deny that the road ahead would be long and filled with unforeseen challenges. Would Hmong always be the steadfast support by her side? Would her ex-husband stop or continue to hide more sinister plans? Only time would reveal the answers, and with every breath, every step, Tieu Ca was embarking on a new journey, a battle to protect her home, hold on to love, and claim freedom for herself.
Cuộc gặp gỡ tình cờ này như một lời nhắc nhở không thể chối cãi rằng dù cô có cố gắng xây dựng một cuộc sống mới, quá khứ vẫn luôn rình rập, sẵn sàng trở lại trong những khoảnh khắc bất ngờ nhất. Và Tieu Ca hiểu rõ đây chỉ mới là bước khởi đầu của những thử thách. Những sóng gió lớn hơn đang rình rập chờ đợi cô phía trước. Giữa không gian ngột ngạt của sự im lặng, ánh nhìn đầy ẩn ý, Tieu Ca tự nhủ phải mạnh mẽ hơn bao giờ hết. Dù quá khứ trở lại với những toan tính hay âm mưu, cô sẽ không để nó chi phối cuộc sống và hạnh phúc của mình. Nhưng trong sâu thẳm, cô không thể phủ nhận rằng chặng đường phía trước sẽ còn dài và đầy những thử thách. Chưa biết trước liệu Hùng có thể luôn là chỗ dựa vững chắc bên cạnh cô, có thể cùng cô vượt qua mọi khó khăn, giúp đỡ cô khi cô cần. Liệu người chồng cũ kia sẽ dừng lại hay tiếp tục ẩn giấu những kế hoạch thâm hiểm? Câu trả lời chỉ có ở thời gian để cùng xem tiếp diễn biến mới nhất. Và trong từng nhịp thở, từng bước chân, Tieu Ca từng bước vào một cuộc hành trình mới, một cuộc chiến để giữ gìn mái ấm, giữ lấy tình yêu và tự do cho chính bản thân mình.